And that means it's time for Blabbing for Britain. And as I drop this photo, you can see three of us. Good morning, John. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
And in a moment, you will see four of us. As we say, good morning, Stephen.
Morning from glorious Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh,
Well, yeah, that's true this morning, isn't it?
who's that bloke? I don't know him.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Well, good, very good. I mean, this weather is excellent. I'm not complaining at all.
I think it's going to rain this morning.
Hopefully it won't rain down here. And say good morning to Adair. So good morning, Adelaide, Australia. So we are global today, and it's nice to see you, Adair. There you are. So that's the morning to everybody from Adelaide in Australia. There's some typing going in the background. I think there's some sharing going on. Would that be a good guess, John?
I don't know. I haven't got it on in the background.
Oh, right. Okay. And Adair's whinging because it's too darn cold in Australia at the moment.
Working up some of our heat.
Yeah. Indeed. Anyway, this is Blabbing for Britain, episode 134. And our starter topic for 10, can you guess, is the World Cup. Did you watch the match last night? Anyone?
Yes.
John didn't. I did as well, Stephen.
It was
I watched the highlights.
this England team. I mean, do you remember about a month ago we sort of said, how will we do at the World Cup? And I said, we ain't going to get out the qualifying groups. And yet, bloody fantastic performance from our boys. Turned, I think, for the whole of the nation, turned it back onto football. And it was just superb all the way through. And whilst it's still very disappointing not to get through to the final, it's not to be disappointed that we haven't got to the final. A marvellous job, and I'm actually looking forward to the games in September and October for qualifying for Euro 2020. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that. We could do so much. He himself said that his boys haven't even really got anywhere near their true potential, so I'm really looking forward to it. And as for Pickford, he's the man of the team for me. He was fabulous goalkeeper, absolutely fabulous. Happy to be out, but only because we've done so well getting as far as we did.
I agree, and watching the team this time, you actually weren't worried about what the other team were going to do. You always felt we were going to score another goal until the second half, extra time yesterday. You felt that we had the capability to score, and the team were always attacking, and I just enjoyed the tournament, and I too am proud of the fact that the English team did so well. And they will go on to better things because they're a very young team. Croatian team is full of superstars. Yeah, lest we forget, they're an aging team, and
we play them in September.
That should be should be interesting.
Yes. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, John, you just watched the highlights.
Gone? Well, it has for me anyway.
Who's gone?
Not yet. The other one's just a black square, oblong, whatever you want to call it.
Am I still here,
Pete,
Stephen?
you haven't said anything yet.
I'll wait until you are finished about your football.
Yeah, of course. You're not partisan, are you? You're from the other side of the wall.
He's not part of it. That's partisan.
I just like seeing grown men cry.
I can see. I know he's back.
I'm staying in wide mode for the Mousy Men show.
All right, okay.
All right, for two of you.
Okay. Right. Can anybody
this
hear?
Afternoon then.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. John, if you can't see me, can you refresh?
We are the mousy men. Mousy, mousy,
Oh,
mousy men.
can you relearn my
We are the
thoughts,
mousy
please,
men.
Stephen?
We come from Aberdeen. Hello, Corinda. What up all?
John, can you...
Lost our leader, so we're filling in, I suppose. So come on then, let's hit the crappy topic of the day, Brexit. What's everybody's thoughts?
It's going rather well, isn't it? Are you happy with how things are going, Pete?
I'm just waiting for the coup d'etat.
Oh, bloody
It's
hell.
going to happen very soon. They'll be on the phones just now saying, if you don't come with us, forget your job the next election, because the voters will never forgive you. And you'll be out. And that's what will happen. And this is what's going to
Can you
happen.
two guys see Stephen with a V? Because I can't.
Yes, we can. Yeah,
He's there. I've got him.
yeah.
I've got him.
I'll have to
John, please refresh.
Refresh. Yeah. So yeah,
Right.
it'll be all behind the scenes. There'll be a coup, and they'll be finished if they let it go for the Brexit that they're going for. They'll be finished. They will not get in the next time. The voters will never forgive them. Even the Labour voters will never forgive them. What do you think, guys?
We get good odds on it being called off at the moment down the bookies.
I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that we were given we had a campaign, didn't we? And Peter voted to leave. We all voted to stay. Very, very close. And then we were sort of waiting for the government to tell us what they were going to do, what they wanted to achieve, and how they were going to do it. And here we are 2 years later, and we're still waiting for the answer to those questions. So how the hell anybody can actually say what it is going to happen as a result?
But wait a minute. The Europeans have got they've got blame as well, because they're almost putting obstacles in the way.
I get you, Pete, but that doesn't change the fact that you voted for something. I don't think you really understood the implications of what you voted.
Well, see when I got divorced a few years ago, I didn't know what was going to happen either. But I met a beautiful woman, and for the past 15 years, life has been absolutely magnificent, and I couldn't have asked for better. So sometimes a divorce is a good thing for some people.
I'm with you on that, Pete. But I'm just reflecting that it's it's such a mess.
You're breaking up a bit, my friend, Stephen.
It is. You're okay, Stephen. It is a total mess. And Stephen said we just don't know what we're asking for, or what we're saying we want, or what we will settle for. And we're now talking about having, what's the new phrase? She always comes up with buzzwords which mean nothing but say nothing at all.
Strong and stable.
Strong and stable. We're not leaving the goods part of the EU. We're going to stay with that. Sort of an agreement to, I don't know. It's a
but she says that on one hand, and then she says we're leaving the single market. I don't really know what it means. I don't think anybody does really. But I just wish we had some decent leadership from the EU for sure. I take a point, Pete. But for crying out loud, this bunch. There's a.
What's really needed is a Brexiteer in it. Not she'll get toppled shortly, and some Brexiteer will take over.
And in that time scale, because to call a general election, it's going to take a couple months for the Tories to knife her and all that sort of stuff, and then 2-3 months to organise a general election.
No, you wouldn't need a general election. You just topple her as the leader.
Okay.
Yeah, you say move over. You just want to say move over, and then a Brexiteer comes in and says, "No, let's get a deal going," and you say European Union, it's that or we're going world trade, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I guess. Who's going to take over? Because Boris is out of the picture now.
I have this nightmare scenario that Mr. Gove.
No, I'll tell you, I reckon what will happen, Jacob Rees-Mogg will be told, we need you in there.
Well,
Back to Victorian time.
Oh, he's a politicians, I've only got one eye. That man will be in there shortly, because they'll say, Jacob, the nation likes you. The nation likes you.
I'm sorry, Peter. I am sorry. Of all the people that you could choose who represent the Conservative Party, I think the guy who would get the most dislikes would be a certain Mr. Rees-Mogg.
But let him do it. Let him do it.
What Fauntleroy?
One for
the British interest. You'd certainly have British interests there.
Yeah, but with the hedge funds interest and the lords and the ladies and the elite and the royal family and all that stuff.
That's what our country's basically all lived by. Either that or we're communists. We're red with Mr. Corbyn.
No, it's not black and white, Peter. There are shades of grey in between.
Could you imagine if the Liberals managed to come in past the post in the end? It might happen.
It might. I doubt it.
Just everybody had enough of them and then they'll vote for Liberals.
I don't think that Corbyn and co got any more of an idea what to do.
The problem is that the people in Labour areas in the north were the people that voted out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem.
That, mate. But have you got any explanations to what could happen? Because the Tories don't. I don't. You don't.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If she puts in something and says this is the way we're doing it, does they go to the Parliament to vote and this is not, we're not going for it, and then they'll all say, well, if that's the case, we'll leave on world trade rules. Keep that money that we're going to be paying them, thank you very much. And we'll put that in our pocket. We'll give it to the National Health. Let's go.
Oh, good.
I don't know. It's quite likely now.
It's possible that there'll be no agreement, but we do trade with Europe. I don't think we can walk away from the money that we owe and hope to have any.
Europe trade with us. They trade with us as well.
So, isn't it? We buy.
Who's going to sell their BMWs for them?
Such a mess. Such a mess.
There's a lot of German jobs at stake here as well, and they know it.
Talking of a mess, tariffs, the great tariff war, which America has brought in, or President Trump and his team brought in, and it's so ludicrous. They have imposed £200 billion worth of tariffs on China, and China cannot fight back because they only import £135 billion worth of goods.
Well, so, they flooded the market. See, in my business, I'm now getting people popping up and doing it for about a third of my price, which I know is not economical in reality. And that's what's happening. And I have to fight that.
But how
you're dearer than him. I've got bigger overheads, my dear. That's the reality of it, and we've all got to put up with it. It's how you go and market yourself after that. Anyway, I'll let John have a say. He's quiet today.
That's because I've had no sleep.
Snap.
My personal thought is that it's just going to dissolve into a disaster. And we're going to end up with no deal, and we're going to be penalised left, right, and centre. Next topic.
Okay.
We'll be penalised.
Because we're paying tariffs that we don't pay at the moment.
My biggest worry is my biggest local employer. Is the word biggest twice, 3 times now. Is Land Rover, Jaguar Land Rover. Right now, they're about to invest £40 million in the plant over the next 10 years.
Okay.
They've put it on hold, awaiting Brexit decisions.
Right. Well, here's a lesson for Birmingham area. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I said local to Solihull. I didn't say local to Birmingham.
Yeah,
not
you know, I thought
in the Birmingham area.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do you know my mother used to work in the mills here in Aberdeen, Grannon Mills, made Crombie coats for the Russians, by the way. It's not here anymore. It's houses. So what did they have to do? They had to move with the times. Simples. Carry on.
Right, okay, moving with the times, you move with technological advance, you upgrade everything, but if you've got something that's working, what you don't do is shut it down. Now, the instance that you're talking about is companies that just faded away, and there are a lot of those. Ideologically, it's just, well, there's a difference between shooting yourself in the foot and progress.
But you know something? We're British and we will survive.
But will we survive this next 2 days?
Well, I'm hoping so. I didn't go in for a triple heart bypass for nothing.
Right. Having upset NATO, President Donald Trump is on his way here.
Yes. His plane landed in Aberdeen today.
All right. Okay. So is he staying up there, Peter?
He's going to one of the golf courses, I know that, but Trump, he landed at Trump his plane landed here today in Aberdeen. He came to see me. He said, "What's this about a balloon, Peter?" Right. So what's the question then? What are we going to ask?
Just observations as to what's going to happen. I know that. I mean, obviously, this special relationship will continue, irrespective of who is Prime Minister and President, because of the security implications and the trade implications, and this goes way back to the First World War. Now, but the thing is that there are going to be marches in London, anti-Trump marches, and there's going to be a great big inflatable.
A great big baby with a monster.
Oh. And did you know there's a website that has raised 3 times more money than the anti-Trumpers, and they're going to be there too?
Oh, God.
Did you know that?
No.
And you know something else? Yesterday on LBC, Nick Ferrari has said, and he had Mayor Khan on, and he says, right, if you're getting this balloon up at him, he actually said, no, it was Piers Morgan, he says, so if somebody applies for you as the mayor with a pig on it, are you going to let that go up? But Nick Ferrari has actually, I don't know if you know that, he is actually going to apply when Jean-Claude Juncker comes over. He's asking for a balloon to go up with him drunk holding a bottle of wine. And he said to the mayor, so you'd let me do that? And if Mayor Khan lets us go ahead, or they let go ahead, they are going to be inundated with every silly balloon you can think of. And every time they refuse that balloon, they'll say, oh, so you can do it for this, but you can't do it for that, and that, and that, and that, and that. He's opened a can of worms for himself by doing that. Agreed?
Yeah, and he won't refuse. He let them all. London is going to be covered in balloons of monsters.
Yeah, the barrage balloons will be up.
Yeah.
Again. Right, so let's talk. So Trump, I love the way he sat there and he said at the table before breakfast, he said, yeah, we're paying an awful lot of money to protect you. What about you coughing up your fair share? I thought that was absolutely marvellous the way he done that. You're sitting here waiting for America. Can you help us? No, you haven't paid your share. We'll let you get walked over.
That would be good if it was true.
Yeah,
Oh, is it true?
So many studies of this bullshit, rubbish from Trump about the way in which America is subsidizing everything.
America hasn't paid its dues into the UN.
Yeah, it's just another distraction from the Orange Monster. Everything he ever does is all distraction so the Republicans can destroy their own own country. All the treasonous stuff that's going on in the States at the moment. Everything he says is a distraction from the real world. You know that thing about sort of separating children from illegal immigrants? All distraction.
Yeah. And all the things that Obama and Clinton had done anyway.
What's the point of bringing them up, Pete? Because
because they do it. Nothing said. We're going to build the wall. We're going to throw the Mexicans out. There's too many coming in. Nobody said a word about it.
Listen, we're talking about Trump. What went on before went on before. This bloke is an orange monster. And the relationship, such as it is between the US and the UK, will survive him because it survived horrible things in the past. But everything he does is a distraction. So the evil forces in America can get away with what they want to do.
No.
Well, it is reality TV.
Give me another reason for why he says what he does, Pete.
Okay. When other presidents says, Jerusalem, capital of Israel. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Oh, you think we should do it? Yeah, we're going to. They've never done a Blabbing thing. He's the only one that says, I'm going to do this, and he doesn't, and they don't like it when they do it. All the other, just gas bags. That's all they've done. Talk, and they never done.
So the fact that nobody's ever pulled a pin out of a grenade in a room before, but because they know it's not a good idea, and then Trump comes along, pulls the pin out of the grenade. Oh, we're in the.
Why did they say it then? Why did they say they were going to do it and they never done it?
Because it's not a good idea.
But there's all sorts of international politics and strategies in play with regard to Israel and with regard to the Palestinians and the whole of the Middle East. And moving, I don't know enough about it. I just know that there's all sorts of horrendous issues to resolve. And actually, I think that moving the embassy is a mere distraction, I think, from what
it meant a lot to the Israelis.
Well, yeah, but that's to the point. How can any country profess to want peace in the Middle East and then come out and be in favour of just one country?
And to be honest, Stephen, it doesn't matter where another country's embassy is, because the people who determine where the capital is the people in the country, the state itself.
Yeah.
And if it's in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, that's our decision. But it's not one that's hurting the state we're in, that we represent our representatives against. And as I said, it's purely a distraction from all the...
Okay. Let's move on to some good news then. We'll try our best. It is difficult to find it in the newspapers these days. But the Thai cave rescue.
Oh.
Yeah?
Did you see the guy on Channel 4, the reporter? Every night he was reporting. He was almost in bloody tears. It was so emotional. And you've got to remember you've got to remember the Navy SEAL, the Thai Navy SEAL guy who died trying to rescue him. It's been such a gripping drama, but it's a drama for us, but it's life and death for those families and the boys. So pleased when they got out.
And I knew they would probably sedate them, but That's scary, getting sedated and getting pulled through the car. I think they put them into a capsule.
Hey? Oh, they were. Oh, right.
And getting air pumped in or something like that, you know?
It's like a little mini. It became little mini stops, didn't they?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
And threaded through the very, very.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me the just thinking about it. But there's already 2 Hollywood movies in production, so to speak, or in development.
What's that, John?
The children were sedated before they were taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would have preferred that too, because I would have panicked.
Yeah, I get 100% with you on that one, Peter.
I don't know if you've ever done portholing. I have, and I didn't enjoy it. I hated it.
Absolutely.
And when you go down there and you turn off your torch, which they made us do, and put your finger in front of your eye, you couldn't see a thing. Not a thing. No, it's been just like the Chilean miners, an absolutely fantastic performance. And these guys, in fact, there was a petition by, is it Lord Ashby? No, him collects all the Victoria medals. He buys them up. Lord Ashcroft, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And there was a petition to see them getting a George medal, right? And you know something? People objected to it for the divers, the 2 divers from Britain. They objected to it. Yet they give it to footballers that kick a football about a pitch and get loads of money for it. What a joke.
Footballers, Pete.
I don't think the footballers get George medals, but they do get awards.
Yeah.
Well, there's a petition just been started that's asking for a knighthood for a certain football manager.
No. What did he win, like?
Yeah, the whole knighthood, don't get me on the knighthood thing. It's just that.
I don't think he wanted anyway.
What did he win?
That's
lost.
Yeah. And he's too young anyway.
He's not,
They didn't even get in the final.
Bringing pride back. That's what he's done, is he's brought pride back. Doesn't matter whether they won or not. We've now got some pride.
Well said. Right.
And I didn't even watch the match, so I went down my allotment and did some digging.
I'll tell you what they need: a bunch of Scotsmen meeting at the airport and shouting, "Losers! Losers!"
There are people going around today saying that, you know, we knew we'd lose sometime, and I hate that, because they just did so well to get where they did.
Yeah.
And I think anybody who's naysaying today should have waited a week or 2.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
If the Scotsmen are going to go, ooh, losers, I think we can find 3 Englishmen who can come to your show this afternoon and barrack you on your Mousy Man show. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't bother me. You know, I love the English, and it's so funny. I'm just thinking of, I've worked in England.
We let you in.
I enjoyed my time in London.
No,
but I tell you what, I didn't have to get called some names down there. A sweaty sock and everything. They called me.
They loved you. They loved you. I've got 5 minutes. Sorry about that. But what else do you?
Okay, let's come closer to home, my home, Salisbury.
Oh yeah.
Now,
He's doing okay down there, mate.
In between the Scripples and the latest incident, we've been to Salisbury twice, and because we were told that the chances of this happening to anybody visiting Salisbury are small, if not infinitesimal. And coachloads of people have gone there on the Sempramise, and now, unfortunately, from what we've been told, this couple actually discovered a package, and they were, well, the lady has died, and the gent is in recovery at the moment. But I suppose the point here is, can we actually believe that Salisbury is safe? Should we believe that it's safe?
And Amesbury.
I probably think they found the source of it because they were scavengers seemingly, and they went around searching for things. And I think they found a
His
source.
hobby was skip diving.
Yeah. And they probably found a source. They probably threw it in a skip or something like that. And he's maybe thought it was illegal drugs or something and said, oh, let's get a hold of this. And that's probably what happened.
Well, we should know soon anyway, because he's conscious again and talking to the police.
They really need to keep him alive, don't they, to find out what's happened, you know. But I believe there's some money being sent to the city. They're getting extra money because a lot of businesses have suffered because of it.
High Street isn't what you would call a bustling thoroughfare, but there is a pub there called the New Inn. And my partner Sue's just started a business called New Inn Lane, which is a fantastic coincidence. But it's a really nice pub. But Amesbury's just so small.
Yeah.
And this is not going to do them any good whatsoever. But do you think they've actually got all of the contaminated stuff now?
I would think so.
Hope so.
Well, I'm not going to Salisbury in the near future. Let's just put it that way.
No.
You know, I don't think I'll be alone in that.
I won't be coming down to Salisbury either because Sue's kids have moved up to Catterick.
Oh, right, okay.
There's nothing planned at the moment. So next couple of years, you've got Salisbury all to yourself, Stephen. I'm sure that delights you.
Well, it's a beautiful city.
Did you know that Aberdeen was once locked off with the typhoid? I remember that. Aberdeen got contaminated Argentinian beef, and the city was in lockdown basically, and the kids were put in hospital or eating it, and people wouldn't meet people from Aberdeen. It was kind of lockdown. It was in the 60s, and it was Argentinian beef that caused it. That's why we don't have Argentinian beef here. People are a bit scared of it.
Wow.
So that was.
I was in the 60s, Peter. I was in Dunfermline in the 60s.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, well, that's.
And that's
so
just
that's what happened.
Beginning to make a bit of a mind. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so there it was quite. And one friend my old supervisor, they went out to do a job, and the woman gave them some food in a plate and in a cup, and when they finished, in front of them, she smashed it in front of them. She said, I won't be using that again. And binned it. So it was like the plague.
Right, I must be off because this battery's going to die as well, but it's been a delight as ever.
Okay.
Take care. See you soon.
Nice to see you back. You're still going to Milton Keynes in November?
Yeah. Pest control thing, yeah.
Maybe see you.
Yeah, you will. They could have a special broadcast from the Pest Control International Conference.
Yes.
I like it. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And then there were 3.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Okay. Now, a survey is saying that half of young people want electric cars, but only 25% of older folk are interested. Do you think that this generation gap will persist, or will we all eventually have electric cars?
They'd have to build the infrastructure for it, because let me tell you, one of the biggest, the bike shops now, who used to laugh at them, one of their biggest sellers now is electric bikes with the over 55s, and also the youngsters are starting to buy them now. So something that was laughed at is big. Yeah, I think it'll come. Don't know what the oil companies are going to say about it.
They're going to build the electric charging points and charge for it.
Right, okay, yeah. And charge a lot of money.
But technology's not there yet.
No, absolutely not. Because
when we changed Celia's car last year, we'd have been happy to have had an electric car because she doesn't do more than 7 miles in a day. You know?
There'll also be more deaths because people can't hear the electric car. Did you know that?
No, well, I was very surprised by a Prius that crept up on me. Yes, only yesterday.
And so basically, I had a running one in Aberdeen. I spoke to someone, he says, "Oh, we're encouraged to take you in the car." So I jumped in the car with a council worker, and it was good. But then I couldn't take it in a long journey. Although they've trialled it, you go into Dundee. It just takes too long. Dundee, and there's several points in the middle, but it takes too long to charge. Whereas if you go on a hybrid, it uses half and half, I think. I've done that.
We have quite a few Nissan Leafs
Okay.
for the police and the council in West Midlands.
Yes, aye.
For just localised. They don't use them for patrol purposes, but if they're going out to visit someone,
Yeah.
the police tend to use a Nissan Leaf round here.
Mm-hmm. It's a way to go, you know. And so I'm looking at another electric bike at the moment.
You keep telling us, Pete, but you haven't bought it.
But, do you know what the problem is? There's too much choice, and you don't know what to pick. And if there's any Scots people listening in, by the way, the Scottish government, I've got a £1.3 million that just put out a couple of weeks ago, and you can get an interest-free loan up to £3,000 for an electric bike, because they encourage you to go to the city in an electric bike. And
Sounds good.
Yeah. The one I'm looking at is £2,800. And
are you going to take advantage of the loan, or are you going to buy it for the business?
My business will be buying it, because I will be using it for business purposes, which I do now. I go to BNI. I slept in yesterday for the first time in 4 years, and so I intend using it for going to meetings inside the city, etc.
Presumably, you'll be able to claim the VAT back, and
yes, I'll get a VAT back and use it for business. And I've got my other bikes to go about in my leisure time. Yeah. So, but there's also the cycle to work scheme. If anybody from Britain knows about that. Some employers have got the cycle to work scheme, and you actually pay it through your wages, and you get 40% off. Okay, so there's that too, if anybody's interested.
sounds good to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the way things are going.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. Now, education is very important. We all benefited from a good education, yeah?
Not me, I'm thick, I left for nothing.
Right, we all had the choice of benefiting we're lucky. But a recent report says that spending on schools since 2010 has dropped by 8%. And this goes against we've been told that more and more is being spent on schools, but in reality, it's 8% down. And ed teachers of schools are saying, we've been saying this all along, we're not getting the resources that we used to. And it's a question of choice. Economics is a question of choice. And do you actually spend your money on education or health or security? But I think that schools is important. I better be grammatically correct and say that schools are important.
See, I learned something. I've no real comment. My school days are over. I know this much. Anybody that I've interviewed can't spell, most of them.
Yeah. We never stop learning, Peter. We're always students.
Yeah.
Why not be at school? But there's
I'll
something.
I'll be live by this afternoon.
There's something new to learn every day.
Yeah.
Indeed. Right. Well, that's the end of the official news stories. I couldn't find anything which was sort of cheery, apart from the Thai cave rescue, of course, which ended well.
Hey, have you noticed something about me?
Not yet, Peter.
You haven't noticed? You need to go to Specsavers like I did and get varifocals.
I've had varifocals for 15 years.
So this is my new varifocals.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Well, we can't tell.
You said I look like Joe 90 with my last glasses.
We can't tell. We can't tell it different other than the frames. We can't tell the varifocals.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but because I don't like wearing glasses. But there you go.
Can you drive in them?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't drive while wearing my glasses.
All right. I did check. Excuse me. I did check. I said, "Can I drive without glasses?" And it says yes, because I've got one long-sighted eye and one short-sighted eye. What a freak!
I think that's much more common than you realise, Peter.
Is that right? It's my sniper's eye as well. It's short.
And Kevin's cheered up by the football, which is good.
Oh, I never knew an Englishman would be happy that they lost.
If you want to join us for 5 minutes, Kevin, then here is the link. We don't have a bot because this is Blabbing for Britain. We don't do high tech.
We're bot free.
We're a bot free zone.
Can I just mention something while Kevin's going on? I don't know if it's going on. But John mentioned to me Facebook ads, right? Which I've done. And boy, I wish I'd done it earlier. But here's the thing that says, do you want to do Instagram at the same time? No. All the calls are coming through Instagram with the call now button. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
That's good.
What do you think? What do you say to that, John?
Which, it's one of those things, isn't it? Instagram, I think, is popular with a different group than Facebook.
Yeah,
so both is a sensible move.
I looked at the demographic as to who was calling, and it's the 25 to 34 that are calling mostly, and they're mostly from Instagram. So I'm delighted with it. Very good response. Yeah. See, you're always
haven't sent me the new logo though, Peter, have you?
Pardon?
You haven't sent me your new logo.
Oh, I'll have to do that. What do you need it in? I'll give you the zip file.
Bigger possible. Or vector format if you've got it in a vector.
I'll just send you what they sent me.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Captain Kevin.
I'm feeling.
I will be taking off from runway 32.
I'm feeling like you, Kevin. I'm feeling good because I enjoyed watching the game last night and I enjoyed the tournament.
Hey, I don't see it as anything negative that's happened with the football. They didn't win the game, so what? They got through to the semis. They played well. It's the best team I've seen for as long as I can remember. And I think it's been absolutely fascinating seeing the way that the team is now managed.
Yeah.
They've had a mindset coach working with them.
Yeah. Basically, yes, I heard that too. Yeah. I mean, the approach has been wholly positive, hasn't it? They have believed totally that they could win and have been doing.
I think it's great. They got further than most people expected. They've got further than they got in past years. So I think it's only good stuff.
Totally agree.
And it's young enough to mature as a team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we've done the World Cup, Kevin. Do you have any thoughts on Donald Trump visiting us?
My view on the current politics that's going on. Let's start on there because there's a lot to cover on that, and I'm not going to cover all of it. But I think that irrespective of Donald Trump visits or not, we're firm allies with the US. We need to keep that as a strong bond, irrespective of who's the president, because we're in a vulnerable position with Europe and we need to be retaining as many alliances as we can, I believe. So on that basis, I'd say he's more than welcome. I don't like the guy. I don't agree with anything that the guy does, but it's still the US and they're still our allies in more ways than one.
Yep.
Well said.
So, and I think
Toastmasters, this guy.
Well, I actually say I have absolute despair for Sadiq Khan the mayor allowing that balloon to go up whilst
Wow.
Trump's here. I think it's disgusting. I don't think that's the way a mayor should behave. You know, whether we like the guy or not, he's still the president of a big superpower country. And that shouldn't be allowed to happen. It's real poor taste from the people of the UK, I think.
Disrespectful is the word I would use.
Kevin,
Yeah.
don't you think the Lord Mayor has opened up a can of worms by letting that be done? Because Nick Ferrari is wanting to do one with George Clone Juncker when he comes over as a drunk on a balloon with a bottle in his hand. What's your view on that?
I just don't see the point of it. I mean, it seems like we've lost all of our very Britishness and self-respect by doing this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's not who we are. It's not how we behave. And if it's allowed to behave from the top, as in the mayor is given permission to do this, then the lower end of intelligence within this country will take it further.
Yes. So what he's going to do, pardon the pun, but he's going to have a barrage, right? Barrage balloon, a barrage of people who then request to put up anything now. And they'll take note of everything that gets refused. And then it can go back and say, well, you refused all this, but you let that happen. That looks to me as though that was personal, Mayor Khan.
Well, what would be interesting and what I find wholly fascinating about the whole thing is if that was Theresa May, an image of her, how would that be viewed? If it was our Queen, how would it be viewed? If it was one of our top celebrities, how would it be viewed? Well, all of the liberal lunatics would be going, well, this is a form of bullying and intimidation. Yet, because it's Trump's politics and all of that involved, well, they're going, well, it's okay. Now, I agree with the fact that there are people marching and they're demonstrating against him coming over because that's within our society. We're allowed to do that if it's organised and done properly. Yeah, people can show their displeasure. So I got no problem with that. I do have a problem with people putting these balloon things up, and the mayor of London, who's supposed to be a dignitary within this country, is authorising it. I think it's shameful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you've got a problem there down there, I would think.
Well, yeah, I just don't think that they've got self-respect isn't the right word, but that level of I'm trying to think of the right word, and it's not coming to me at the moment. But you know, where you're above doing petty things, that type of thing, and that's what it seems like to me. It's a cheap shot.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting times later when everybody puts in their applications.
Well, the thing is, though, we know he's a temperamental president, and if he suddenly decides, well, we're not going to trade with the UK, we're going to make it difficult, that affects a lot of the business that we do.
Yeah.
I've got American clients. You know, I'm sure other people that watch this show have got American clients, and if that becomes more difficult to trade with them because some idiots put a balloon up that's upset their president, you know, it doesn't make any sense.
And it's the same with the visas. It may make it harder to get into America, to go to Florida. A lot of Brits go to Florida for their holidays, etc. And it's just a nightmare.
The problem is they're letting a few people dictate the way that the country's seen, and I don't see that is the right way to do it. I mean, all this Brexit thing that's going on at the moment, and I'm not going to go into detail about it, but Boris has gone, you know, whatever. But they're all saying, well, boot out Theresa May. Now, irrespective of what you think about her, she walked in to a job that nobody else wanted. It was a complete shower dumped on her by Cameron after he left, and she had to deal with that, which she's done for a number of years. And the country's still running. We're not in major problems in any area that I know of. And the thing that they're not getting is that her job is to negotiate for the best interests of our country. She doesn't have to report to the press what that is.
No, she's a steady Eddie. What trumped people was when she mentioned she gave even more to the National Health Service. No, she kept that quiet for a long time, you know. And
she's a smart person, I'll tell you.
She is a smart person. She's not letting anybody push her.
No.
But if she doesn't give the Brexit what the people voted for, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah, but what did the people vote for? Because most people don't know.
Out. It was a yes or no, and
Yeah, but out to what extent?
Out
to the detriment of the future of the country.
They were all told, if you voted yes or no, the Cameron, everybody said, if you vote out, you're coming out of the customs union, and it's been said, you can see the records of it, you're coming out of the customs union, you're coming out of the single market, the movement of people will all be gone, and that's what out meant. And many people have tried to say, well, they never said that. He said, well, we've got it. We've got it on recording. It's been said. And it was up to every individual to listen to what was being said that way or that way and make a decision. Decision was made. Same as in Scotland. Do you want out from away from England and the rest of the UK? Or do that? And the decision was made in Scotland too.
I understand that, and I understand the whole process of the vote and all of that. But I also respect and understand the fact that we have a cabinet of ministers voted in that are there to work in the best interests of the future of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been voted in for that purpose. So irrespective of what the country voted for, and as far as I can see, they're not saying, well, we're going to have another vote on it or we're going to overturn it or any of that, which they could. They're saying, okay, well, we're going to do this, but what is the best interest for this country going forward? And that's what, as far as I can see, they're doing. Now, they don't need to explain to me, as a citizen of this country, what that is.
They'll go over and explain to the Germans what they're going to do before they tell their own people.
I'm not so sure about that. You know, you've got to have faith in that woman and the way that she's leading this. She was the longest Shadow Home Secretary ever. You know, she's smart and she's playing her cards close to her chest and not being bullied into letting the public know what's going on. And
because at the end, she might sicken everybody and just say, that's it, no deal.
Yes, she may well do. But if she plays that card now, Peter, and says, well, this is on my agenda, they'll see it coming.
That's right.
But I don't know, you lot don't know, whether she's got that in the back of her mind, thinking, well, they all think I'm not going to do this, but you know what? This is my trump card.
I like the pun.
He gets a lot of mentions as Trump, does he? Right, okay, I'm Brexited it.
Can we exit Brexit, please?
Exit Brexit.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, I can take your point, Kevin, that they're actually there to do the best for the country. And they've got to make the best of what was a stupid decision in the first place. And I can say that because I voted Remain. Right, okay. Now,
I did, but that's irrelevant anyway, because whatever's decided is decided. It's just how that's all managed and moved forward. And that's where they're at now.
Shall we talk about something entirely different?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
All right. Podcasting. So there you are. All right.
Podcasting. Yep.
Yeah. Are you podcasting these days, Kevin?
No, but we will be incredibly soon. And the one main reason for that is that voice search is going up massively. 1 in 4 searches online is going to be a voice search in the future. So if you do not have audio of some description going on within your marketing, then you're missing out big time.
Where did you get that from?
It's been bantered around for the last 18 months. And then who was it that put that out, sir? One of the big names? About Gary V confirmed it with his connection.
Gary V's an idiot, but apart from that.
Well, I can tell you, I use it quite a lot. I've got a phone that understands me most of the time. Yeah.
Is it from the 1970s?
I use it quite a lot when I'm in the vehicle and I'm driving away, and I just say, "Okay, Google, find the nearest home bargain store," and it's doing it right now. Shut up. Let's say "shut up" at the end of it.
But it's a logical step. I mean, it doesn't, you know, we all know it's happening. We've got Alexa devices. We've got all of these things around the home. It's all voice activated stuff's happening.
Yes.
So
it's not searching voice, is it? It's searching Google Index.
Yeah, but it'll be done on voice files.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to be ranked. So
I mean,
It's happening. I'll find the official papers on it because there is some out there. But yeah, this is definitely happening. So podcasting, to answer your question, is going to be really important.
Right, so let me ask a question, gentlemen. What are you trying to say, John Upton? What are you trying to say there about?
I'm not a great believer in podcasting.
Right, no, okay, forget podcasting, but about voice itself.
Well, that voice is turned into words, and then the words are used in the traditional search engines.
Right, so I just done it just now.
The example you gave.
Yeah, and it came up, and I said what I said. Find the nearest home bargain store, and then it said no, and then I said no, shut up, and that came up in the writing. So, so it still converts it to words.
Yeah, all it's doing is taking your voice, turning that into recognition and turning it into words, and then using the words to search the standard Google index.
So what's wrong with that?
You gave.
I mean, I often use it. I'll say, I won't say I'll say Google, and then I'll say navigate to, and then it comes up, and I navigate to the place I want.
Indeed. Right, I'm just going to come back on point. Podcasts basically is growing phenomenally. And because the thing about the podcast is it doesn't have to have your full attention. You can listen to it while you're out jogging, you're driving the car. In fact, you can listen to a podcast in more ways than you can watch a live video. So I've just posted a link, as I thought I might, to my podcast, which is now a regular Monday feature. And if you want to find it, it's on Anchor FM, because this podcasting is free, isn't it, Kevin?
Anchor's brilliant because it's free. You can do it on your phone. It uses your microphone out of your phone, which actually gives you quite good quality. And it's the only complete system that I know of that is free to give you a reasonable sounding podcast.
Well, it's the only way I could think that I would ever be on iTunes. Because the podcast goes from Anchor and it spreads out from there, and my weekly podcast is now on iTunes, and I haven't done a thing other than sign up. So as a way to get a message out, and I don't talk about live video most of the time. It's just a way to actually get your thoughts out there. So
it's always been popular. And it's not. We know it's not a new thing. I mean, when Sarah, I don't know if you know the story, but when Sarah first started looking at getting into blogging, we were at a crossroads, and it was: do we go into blogging, the written word, or do we go into podcasting? Because podcasting was, both of them were reasonably unknown back then.
Yeah.
And it was, well, what avenue do we focus on? And we actually chose the writing side of it because that was Sarah's preference to do that. But we could quite easily have not gone down the blogging route and completely gone down the podcasting route.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know what the difference would have been after that period of time, because we're going back quite a number of years now. But so it's not a new phenomenon. It's just now more easily accessible.
Well, it is. I mean, I sit at the desktop with a set. Who's that? John? Oh, it's Kevin.
Yeah,
I just
Sarah, didn't you recognise the voice?
Right. My podcast takes me 6 minutes to do, and I just record it on the desktop, same setup as I've got now, and also record it on video so that there's a video that goes out and the sound, and I'm on iTunes. So, hooray for podcasting. All right. Okay. And well, when business calls. Thanks for joining us, Kevin. It was brilliant. And you're welcome to join us anytime you like on the Thursdays at 10 a.m. in the UK.
What I like to do is videoing live speaking. No cuts or anything. Straight from the mouth. In and out, bang, rather than typing and getting your grammar right and everything. That's what I like.
Okay. And it's out to John at the end of the show.
Is it really time already?
Wow.
Has it gone that fast? So, Peter, before we end the show, what time are you on this afternoon?
We are on at 3:30 this afternoon, the Mousy Men, and we will be talking about flies, the different type of flies that we deal with in pest control.
So this is flying flies, not flies in your trousers.
No, flies, because there ain't no flies in me, my friend.
Yeah, I hope you got some flies on your trousers.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
special prizes. I've got special prizes for people in Aberdeen, unfortunately.
All right, okie doke. Locals only. Well, I'll do my best to come and listen to you, and if not, I'll watch the replay.
Okay.
So, we've hit 11:01, so it's time for us to say goodbye. So it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from him, it's goodbye from him, and goodbye from them down there, and them over there, and them up there. And goodbye from Stephen, who had to leave us earlier as well. So, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.